right, you want to get started? Want to go ahead and have me call the meeting to order? I wasn't sure if we were waiting for Angela, but we can go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and make a motion to call the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m.
Duly noted.
All right. We're going to go ahead and call it to order. In addition to the agenda that I sent out, wasn't too fancy smancy, but the wonderful minutes that Chuck sent out, or that I sent out, but that Chuck took so that we were able to get those done. The Bob did, sorry. I have those here, and I want to go ahead. If you had a chance to take a look at those, I don't know if you want to share that screen really quickly, Hazen, or if we can just agree to take a look at it and say that we can accept the minutes.
There they are.
There they are.
You want me to scroll down a little bit slowly, scroll down?
Pretty straightforward. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Now would be the time. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes.
You looking for a second, Marilyn?
Yes, if there are any, unless there are any questions, comments, concerns about anything there that needs to be, that looks questionable or.
I'll offer a second.
All right. Any opposed? All in favor? Aye, aye.
Aye.
All right.
Hi.
Excellent. So that the
I
minutes,
should recuse myself.
the minutes will be accepted. All right. I'm gonna go back. All right. All right, so the next thing, this agenda stuff, we had some dates that we need to move around, Hayes, and I'm going to let you discuss that because you were able to speak to the people and figure out why those dates won't work, and then we can try to figure out something that might work better.
Yeah, so last time I talked to Corey, he felt like the April 14th would work better for Parks and Recreation. They're focused on, at the March 10th, renaming or designating a part of Stumptown Park for veterans. So I think our conversation is going to take time, and I think they're going to be focused on that. So last time I talked to him, April 14th worked good for them. And then Jay, who's the March 22nd, that's the regular meeting of the zoning. The planning board meets the same time we do, and they have 4 items. So they're going to need to, we're going to need to find out a joint time that works for both groups. So I guess having said that, I do think it would be smart for us to brainstorm on what we think would be good topics of discussion from our perspective, both with Parks and Recreation and zoning and planning, so we can kind of put together a focused discussion.
So you're saying the 20th, they won't meet with us on the 23rd?
That's correct. They already have a full agenda on the 23rd.
Okay.
Could I write down the wrong day? I think you said the 22nd is a Tuesday, but the 23rd is a Wednesday. Did I get that wrong? Is it a Wednesday?
I think.
Because now that I'm looking at the actual month, that's June. I'm sorry. April. Sorry.
The agenda may be wrong on that one.
Let me see.
So March 23rd is the correct.
It's a Tuesday. Okay, I'm sorry. I was in the wrong month. Sorry. All right. Where do our interests align with the zoning and planning committee? I mean, I'm just curious in terms of cultural and diversity and zoning and planning. I remember the one time we went to the meeting and I was interested as a citizen about the things they were talking about in terms of the where they were building senior citizen homes and things like that. But I'm wondering what would be where our intersection would be for them.
I mean, I can jump in, but I don't know if I'm being too.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I can give you a good example. Affordable housing,
Okay.
right? And so we have 3 projects in front of us right now where the board is talking to the developer about setting aside a portion of the 1 apartment complex and then 2 townhouse complexes, about setting aside affordable housing. So I think that would be an interesting, even though the town doesn't have a formalized policy yet, it is good to see developers are willing to work with us and set aside that stuff. So I think to get an update on kind of what the department's been doing with affordable housing and the development community would be a very interesting topic.
Okay, yeah, no, that's awesome. I just didn't know that. I think that's fantastic.
Now, I'd be curious in knowing if any of the members of those committees would be interested in something like the 21-day challenge.
So we could talk about our experiences with the 21-day challenge.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe offer that to them.
Certainly some of the resources that could support if they were unwilling to, say, commit to 21 days, we certainly know that there were resources in and among those resources that can address some of the issues with affordable housing if we had some people who needed to just be, a little nudge.
Hazen, have there been any conversations between you and your area leaders, if you will, about, I know you did the 21-day challenge with a number of your leaders, but have you been talking with them about taking that out to their volunteer boards and all?
We haven't. So we just finished, the United Way, you guys may know this, I think there was 14,000 participants in the Charlotte Central Lina, whatever they call the United Way. And then the final speaker, Dr. Moore, spoke today. And so our department heads listened to that. I think the dilemma for staff is advisory boards get their direction from the town board. So like staff should be tactful with these advisory boards. But I could certainly ask our folks to share their experiences with the advisory boards. But I also think it'd be valuable if we have the CDC talk to at least these 2 different boards, the planning board and the.
Are we an advisory board?
Yes, sir.
We are. Okay.
And again, I apologize for talking so much, but it does feel like this group, y'all are the appropriate group to put it out to all the advisory boards in the town. So what if, and I think there's like 10 of them, there could be 80 people doing it together. What a fascinating, the board's gone through it. What if the advisory, the department heads have gone through it? What if all the advisory boards went through it? It sure would be a nice feather in the town's cap.
Hazen, you went through with the, I think we talked about this a little bit, but now that we're on the other side of it, the kind of hands-off or a little more independent way that the United Way did theirs. How was that compared to ours? And would you prefer that method if we were choosing to go forward with the zoning boards, or more like the intense way that we did it with the commissioners?
Yes. So the key is the facilitator. Marilyn, you really did do a very, very good job. And we did not have a facilitator when it was the department heads. And some folks were relatively quiet, which is their right to do. I was the informal facilitator, and I really didn't know how hard do I push, Do I let people be quiet? Who knows what people are processing? I do think somebody that's got some skills or training and probably no vested, I don't know, even like an outside facilitator would probably be healthy. I think but we met as a group once a month, just like, we did with the town board. Okay. So, I liked our process. I assume everybody on the call liked it too.
Hazen, did you meet once a month or each week?
So every week we met. You get something every day, and the United Way set it up a little different. They did not give us anything on the weekends, so the 21-day challenge lasted more than 3 weeks. But today we listened to George. Eddie Moore, Dr. Eddie Moore.
Today? I thought I missed it. I wish I would have realized it was today. Today was a crazy, hectic day, but I really wish, I thought I missed it. I didn't realize it was today.
Well, here's the good news. They are going to send, they recorded and they're going to send that out, and I'll share it with this group. He's really a very, very dynamic guy. Really interesting person.
I wanted to weigh in on the question, Marilyn. I also had my leadership team at work do the 21-day challenge with United Way. And I agree with Hazen, it is very effective when you have an external facilitator, because I think people become more comfortable. So we had someone to facilitate us, and we did, he was external to the department, but he was still an employee of the city of Charlotte in the training section. And we did 4 meetings, because Hazen's right, you really don't have anything on the weekends. And then we were very fortunate because he contacted Dr. Eddie Moore. Dr. Eddie Moore is the creator of the 21-day challenge. And he actually attended our last session. Wow. With our department, and that was phenomenal. So we got to hear him twice, and he is available to do that. He does not, if you contact him, I've corresponded with him on LinkedIn. He's very personable. He'll just Zoom in and say a few comments, and then he'll Zoom back out. But you can't just place value on a good facilitator. You've got to have a good person who can kind of, facilitate the conversation and direct people. The content I thought was fantastic. Just the different takes and videos and definitions and YouTube and different articles I just thought was great. And it added, there's different stuff than what we got with our 21-day challenge, different content. But overall, it was just fantastic.
Well, that's wonderful. Yes. Love praise reports. It's good to know that he's available and accessible. So that's definitely, you see me jotting that down, because that would be a good feather in the cap to have.
I really like the way United Way did have suggestions for a topic for each day, like economic justice and healthcare. And I like the way we did the weekly discussion group. So if we could put those together, I think we'd have a really strong program.
I think that's a good idea.
I will tell you all the takeaway for the town, besides needing a facilitator, is we need to put together a plan, a diversity and inclusion plan with a mission and a plan, and then start training the organization similar to sexual harassment. In other words, just make it part of the curriculum that we go through with our employees. And I thought that was a great idea. Now, what I'm going to plan on doing is reaching out to some of my cohorts, some of maybe a little more progressive towns, or that are ahead of us and have done some of this, have some sort of bones of a plan pulled together that we can take it and, whatever, make it our own with our own organization. But that's the next step.
Okay. Is Greensboro on that list?
That would be a good one. I was thinking of, well,
I know it's kind of far. I only think about that. When I think about these kinds of issues, I think about Charlotte, of course, but where places where there are a cluster of HBCUs and a lot of infusion of, I don't know, you see a lot of diversity at higher levels and management and different things. And I know that just from my experience, I don't know a lot about Greensboro, but what I know about Greensboro, you said progressive. That's one of those cities that makes me think of that, as well as I think perhaps Winston-Salem, and maybe I'm just going off of places that I know that have HBCUs, and a lot of the HBCUs around the graduates tend to stay. They're doctors in the area. They tend to work in government and do those things. Angela, do you think there's some logic to that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that seem like a logical kind of connection to make?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So
Greensboro, Winston, Durham.
And those are great. Just like we have 180 employees.
Yeah.
How many employees you got, Angela, in your department?
1,200.
Okay. So to be honest with you guys, many times it's hard for us to relate to Charlotte. We say, okay, we want an ordinance on X. Let's look at Charlotte. Well, I got 27 pages of that ordinance. And so I will probably start with smaller progressive towns like Hillsborough or Chapel Hill even. But I think we need to touch the big ones to see they're not doing anything that we can't do, or, they haven't hired a consultant and paid them $100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, Cary, like you said, smaller progressive towns that may be similar in nature.
I know Asheville's far away. Would that fall under that category? And I'm thinking that's not an HBCU town, but they're one of the only places in the nation that have a semblance of reparations on the books that was approved. That's very interesting and intriguing to me. So that would make me think they're doing something progressive.
Yeah. Good examples.
I just want to go to Asheville. Seems like a really cool place. All right.
So here's what I got for things to talk to the planning board about are affordable housing, our experiences going through the 21-day challenge, and I'd say talk to them to see what their interest is. I bet you they'd be very interested in it as well. I think Jay shared with me that the history of zoning in this country was originally based around racism. That was one of the, and you guys may all know that, but I never realized it was so overt. The way he said it to me, it sounded like it was just systematic racism, another form of systematic racism. What if I asked him to give us a little history on that to see kind of where, even in the government trenches of planning, how they did that?
You remember our redlining episode? So I mean,
that's the banks. The banks were doing that. I think.
The one that we saw in our 21 day, it was about neighborhoods. It was about redlining neighborhoods and exactly what we're talking about, affordable. But it was the short version because it was a bite size. But yes, absolutely. If there's not an understanding about how redlining has come to be in this nation and that overt racism and all of that, then absolutely, if someone can speak to that because it's something that, people are unfamiliar with, then I would absolutely say that's the foundation to build on. To have some kind of understanding. And you said Jay. I'm not sure who Jay is. He's
our planning director.
Okay.
There's just one more disadvantage, wasn't it? The banks didn't get you, the zoning would.
That's exactly right.
Gracious.
All right, affordable housing, 21-day challenge. Was there a third? I thought there was a third. Oh, diversity and inclusion plan. Diversity and inclusion plan. Because that's what I've
to me, that's a separate. That's not. That's a goal for the organization that came out of the department heads and myself going through it and like, okay, what's our takeaway here? Besides needing a facilitator next time, we need to develop a diversity and inclusion program, really training folks on, okay, here's what's, going on in the country, and, what do we need to, what do we do to prevent it?
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. And that's the 23rd.
Yes. So that Jay told me that date is not going to work.
Oh,
March 23rd. So we're going to have to look for another date that works for both committees.
Are we trying to do that tonight?
No, because I think we're going to have to do some kind of doodle poll.
Okay.
There's just too many people.
All right. Excellent. So let's, you threw us for a loop there, Hazen, with all those wonderful, the vacancies. I don't know if you all have had a chance to take a look at that wonderful email Hazen sent us that had all of a spreadsheet and application that was about to print them all out. And I was like, you know what? It might be easier just to look at them in real time. There's some pretty exciting candidates and interesting people. And I saw that. I thought that would probably take up, what time is it? The bulk of our, oh yeah, we're still early. The bulk of our meeting, because that's a lot. Did you all get a chance? I'll give you all a chance to take a look at that. I'm not going to toggle.
Hey, Bob, who was on the committee before, and how did y'all do it before? It was just a subcommittee of this group. Is that right?
Yeah. We looked at the applications and then decided who we wanted to interview.
And was that the whole group or just you?
Oh, Marilyn and me and Natisha.
Yeah. And before
Angela made it? No. Marilyn, Natisha, and me, I guess.
But it was before we lost the other person. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. The person that we had on before she left.
Yeah.
Nikki.
Early on, we had Nikki with us. Yeah, and it was great. We agreed. These are some great candidates. I'm still absolutely excited and willing to be on that committee. There's some great people here. But Lori would set it up when she'd set up and facilitate the times and the meetings. They were in person. Oh, except for our last group. We just got this last group that are here right now. We have Ashley on and Deepa on, who went through the process when we did it via Zoom. Right. So we've done this thing. So
do you want me to ask Lori, Marilyn, to set up another Zoom call for you all to go through the applications that are interested in the CDC?
Well, Lori could set up the Zoom call. Yeah, she could. Is it just going to be is anyone else interested besides Robert and Natisha's down for the count? Because the three of us could just communicate, I guess. Well, no. Yeah, let Lori facilitate that. But yeah, that's fine. We haven't had a chance to look at them. I think the three of us, if that's what we're going to do, we don't all want to look at it as a committee. It's just going to be the three.
Whatever y'all want to do. I mean, it's easy to do it as a committee, right? If y'all all wanted to go through all 9 of them, that would be easy. We could just set up a time my advice would be get on it sooner than later, because some other committee, y'all may find a great candidate that gets on another advisory committee. It's like, oh, whatever. Early bird gets the worm kind of stuff.
I was going to say, in the spreadsheet, she has, like, to the far right, what committees that they're interested in. And there are several candidates that have only the CDC on their application.
That's what I was looking at. So I was going to say, those are the ones. Where are they? They're there. I was looking for that. Because I was going through them individually at first before I looked at the spreadsheet, and I was like, these people are all over the place. And then when I saw the ones who were specifically interested in CDC, then I say, yeah, they should move to the top of the line. Because I was just reading information, and some of them are really, because I just looked at it maybe 10 or 15, maybe 30 minutes before this meeting started, so I didn't get a chance to do a deep dive. But I certainly say the ones that has CDC as a priority. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? Yeah, 5. Those, they should certainly be the priority. And then we look at the others. And again, anyone else want to join the committee to be a part? You don't have to. But so yes, Hazen, I think yes to your question.
So what I could do is ask Lori just to invite everybody on the board, and whoever's interested and the date works, y'all can do that.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Because I like to do this. It's a lot of interest. This is really good that people are interested in civic engagement. That warms my heart,
There's a lot of great candidates on here when I was reading through
them. A lot of people who care about the trees and, the historical preservation. I think that's just very cool. I think that just makes me feel good. Anyway, all right. So yes, I think that will work, Hazen. I'm trying to carry on in the spirit of Natisha. Do you feel me? I hope I'm trying to hold it down, because Natisha doesn't play. She always is rapid fire and has all the right questions. So I'm trying to trudge on in her honor. All right. What's next? Let me see. All right, so I kind of went out of order. I put the racial equity challenge because I knew that there were many of you, or a few of you, who had gone through the United Way and wanted to hear some feedback on that, and we've done that. And I'm glad to know that the Eddie Moore piece that was today was recorded, because I thought I missed it. I was like, well, I'll have to catch him another time. So it's good to know, A, that was recorded, and B, that he makes himself available when he can for challenges and for popping in for people. I think that's awesome. I'm so happy that Angela shared that. That's really, it's always good when you can connect with the person. And I was curious about, there was something else. I didn't put it on the agenda, but I figured that we would at least want to share about the community forum on the 16th, Pastor Chuck. Did you want to share anything about that? I know we'd spoken about that and it was in the minutes, but it didn't. I didn't want to do old business and new business. I figured once we got together, we could share that if you were feeling so inclined.
Sure, Marilyn. It was just, I remember I had indicated to everyone that we really had the entire day with Will Williman, who was for many years the dean of the chapel at Duke University and is now a professor, longstanding professor there. And we had a wonderful day with him. We had a seminar in the morning, a workshop for pastors in the community, and then the evening, and a very challenging evening, and but lots of participants. Our count was, I think we had that evening about 240 that were participating, and then the number is up to about 800 now that have now viewed that. So, pretty significant participation, and we're very, very grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I didn't
Yeah, no.
connect with that. And I know I don't think we had any follow up with the ladies from the Matthews Playhouse. I know they came, and I mean, I just saw was there. I didn't know if there was anything else to connect to that. I just didn't want to leave that.
They did come to the town board last night, and it really does sound cool. They put out like a request for proposals, I guess, and I think they got 16 back. I can't remember how many plays they got, and they're going to boil it down to 4 readings, and the readings are going to be recorded. And June Bayless said she thought it was going to be very hard to get it down to 4, and then they put on a production of the top one, and then the intention is to do this every year. So it really
That's pretty cool.
sounds interesting and cool, and I don't know if it's unique, but it sounds unique to me. And I guess I want to take that and pivot a little bit. So with Parks and Recreation, because we want to set up something with them, I do think to hear about what are some of the programs, inclusive programs that Parks and Recreation has done, either done already or plan on doing in the future. So, we can hear the outreach that's going on in Parks and Rec as an example of a topic.
Yes. And that Parks and Recs, that's the meeting that's on the 23rd, right?
That's April 14th.
I'm sorry, April 14th. Sorry. I have it up. And there's a bit of crossover as well with the Parks and Rec interest and the CDC interest for some of these applications. It's probably the biggest crossover is CDC and Parks and Rec. Even when I was coming aboard, of course, I wanted education too, but Parks and Rec, so that I can see how those interests align. All right. I feel like there should be more. Is there more? Vacancies, agenda, other business. I don't know. Am I leaving something out? I feel like there's, we always have more. Is this, I don't feel like I'm dropping the ball. It's not going to the full 8 o'clock, people. Surely there's more. It's only 7:35. Surely there's more to say.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Look at Angela. Angela's like, no. I don't want the teacher to be disappointed. Like, well, why did it adjourn? It's only 43 after, Marilyn. What did you not do?
No. Yeah. At the Human Services Council this morning, something I was at today, the diversity coordinator for Atrium spoke. I guess he was at the thing earlier this morning. And I just wondered if both Atrium and Novant are intentional about working with diversity, if it would be beneficial for us to talk with them or have them share what they're doing, something like that. Because that might be a helpful thing.
Atrium, Novant, the big medical hospitals.
Yeah, Atrium and Novant.
So, Bob, what I would suggest, or Marilyn, is the Novant is the one that's in Matthews, whatever, 150 beds or so. A guy named Jason Byrne is he's been there less than a year. I could reach out to him and see if he'd be willing to come talk to us about, and he may bring somebody with him, but I know he wants to get out and about into the community. And so my guess is he would relish that.
Relish?
Yeah. It's getting late. Meeting till 10:30 last month.
No, I'm impressed. I'm saying you didn't say he would enjoy that, he would like that, he'd be enthusiastic. You said relish, so that's like call him immediately because people don't relish unless it's in tuna. I'm just saying.
He seems like that kind of person to me.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. And I mean, Novant has the gravitas, so I mean, no, I think that's important, and they're doing it. I would second that and all of that. I think that's a wonderful.
Okay, if you do that, Hayes, that might be an interesting, maybe something we could learn.
Always. I agree. Excellent suggestion. All right. Fantastic. Well, I don't have anything else. I have nothing else. Well, our next meeting is the 23rd, I guess, right?
No. Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes. So the next meeting, 23rd at 7, and between now and then, I guess if we have any other information about the rescheduling and all of that other stuff, we'll have that conversation. But in terms of the applicants, definitely go forward with that. I'm always willing, and yes. I'm going to spend some time looking at that. Since our meeting seems like it's going to end early, I will spend time looking at the applications and going over that. So I'll be a little more well-versed when that time comes.
All right, I got to-dos. I know what I got to do.
So, Marilyn, I'd like to call that the meeting be ended.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and second that. It is 7:39.
Second.
You tell Natisha that we went over a lot and it was very detailed. We covered a bunch in her absence.
We sure will. We'll make you look really good. Okay, Marilyn?
Thank you very much. All right.
All right.
Have a
Bye,
wonderful
everyone.
Safe, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Bye.